My name is Pavel. This is Karina. She will be helping me to visualize the talk. I would like to speak to you about the digital millennials from Lasnamäe. You're probably wondering, what is it? So let's break it down and make it clear. Millennials. It's a generation born from the year 1980 up to 2004. So most of us here are actually millennials. We're also known as the Generation Y. We are one of the most educated generations. We're the ones who like challenges, we're the ones who like trendy stuff, and we are the ones who value quality of life over stress and money. We like to travel, we like to be in communities and in groups. But sadly, we're one of the most frustrated generations, and we're also one of the most underemployed. The digital millennials. These are the guys born from 96 and upwards in a well-connected to the internet world. So they never had to interrupt their mother's phone call by going on the internet. They never had to wait for 10 minutes to see a picture loaded. And they actually, by the time they were 11, they know more about the internet and the technology than most of their parents. So, coming from Lasnamäe, all of us here know what is Lasnamäe. It's a big block neighborhood in the outskirts of Tallinn composed of buildings like these ones. And coming from Lasnamäe and coming from this concrete neighborhood, I don't put it geographically. I would say it can be in any city, all over the country, and in other countries as well. We usually label young people from these concrete neighborhoods a bit not ambitious, not having goals, and maybe sometimes not active and without a will to change a society. Some people do that. And also, these concrete blocks are home to many people from the minorities and cultural national groups. For example, in Estonia, it's of course the Russian-speaking minority. And when these guys live in Lasnamäe or any other neighborhood, they sometimes wonder, what is actually my homeland? What is my home culture? How should I associate myself with? And when they go traveling, they come to a country where Russian is widespread and spoken, they often hear a comment, wow, you have an Estonian accent. Or wow, you have Estonian personality or Estonian looks, whatever that would mean. And they go to another country, and they often hear a question, are you a real Estonian? What do people expect as an answer? No, I'm a fictional, unreal one. Myself got questions like that many, many times. And growing up in Lasnamäe, I heard many comments about, oh, actually, with your surname, you should work twice as hard to get something in this country. You should go and look for opportunities abroad. You should look west. Partially influenced by that, I moved away for 4 years. And then I returned to Estonia, and I found myself working with the digital millennials from Lasnamäe, giving lectures in a school and doing some projects for the kids. Of course, I thought I will be one of the coolest teachers because I'm young and so interesting probably. And I will invite everybody for discussions and lectures, and we'll get guests to the school. And sometimes these methods that I thought would work really good didn't. And I understood that some things, the conventional ones, the things that we're used to, are not working with the digital millennials anymore. They maybe want something new. And how can we give something new to them? And once, sitting in, of course, the kitchen, where all the main decisions and ideas are created, with some friends, we spoke about new approaches to the digital millennials and to the youngsters. So we decided to create a youth association and call it Shokkin Group. Why Shokkin? Because we wanted to be a bit different in communication, a bit different in the projects that we do, and we wanted to be an organization that can give the digital millennials the magic kick. to actually get them started and get them working. And also, wanted to be shocking in everything that we do. For example, this guy. Imagine him coming to the dean's office of different schools in Tallinn and saying, hey, I need 10 kids from age 9 to 11 for a dance charity event. Don't ask any more questions. Just give us the kids. Most of the deans were actually shocked. And that's when we started to use our weaknesses, maybe, of being a bit weird in some sense and non-conventional, into the strong sides. And we started experimenting with the digital millennials. Millennials as such, they like challenges. So let's give them challenges. We took youngsters from different dance studios. We gave them a group of kids that never did any dancing. And we said, guys, you only have 8 lessons. We need a showcase and you're going to compete with each other. It's amazing what kind of results we got at the end. Even without perfect resources and in very time-constrained things, they actually did a great job. And the competition went very well. So, if they like challenges, let's give them challenges. Also, when we speak about the digital millennials, they know what is trendy and what is not trendy. Let's say graffiti is cool, and cleaning up an area is not very cool. So when I came to my students and said, guys, we need to clean an area in the neighborhood, they said, eh. But when I said, guys, we need to clean up an area for opening a graffiti wall, they ran there. And they had the passion to clean and do a lot more. Because they like to be part of something that is cool for them. So use the trendy things. Know the fashion stuff. As an organization, we want to not only play and have some nice projects, we also want to teach. And we want to have active youngsters who would be playing a big part of the society, and actually the youngsters that are more entrepreneurial. Also, we want to integrate the Russian-speaking minority into the society. How can we do that? In a cool way. Well, if graffiti is cool, what else is cool? Comic books. Comic books are very nice, right? So how can we connect these aims with the comic books? We decided, let's create one, but let's make youngsters to be part of the whole process. Designing, printing, budgeting, finding sponsors, promoting, and so on. Give them a chance to be part fully. The integration part. Let's set the comic book in Tallinn, in Estonia, and let's set the characters to be characters of Estonian folk culture or the myths of Tallinn. So they actually had to do some research on the background. Does the character seem familiar? Yeah. And this is how we get still an interesting project, but also with quite a strong learning aim in terms of practice. So build up on something that they're interested in. Communities and digital millennials don't really like to grow up. Let's be honest. Most of us enjoy going back and trying to be the same as we were in our childhood and play. And we decided, let's grab a group of millennials aged 18 to 26, take them away from Tallinn, and let's make a 24-hour activity camp to play games, yard games, camp games, sports, sing, dance, and spend a weekend like this. The idea was taken with skepticism because people said, really, you guys expect a group of people going away to a small village away from Tallinn for the weekend instead of clubbing? We said, okay, let's try, maybe. Surprisingly, by giving the chance to be young again, or not young actually yet, to be childish, we gathered a group of people and we did, in 10 months, 4 camps like this, the last one reaching with 55 participants. And these are the older ones. They already have some interests, some connections, and some passions, but most importantly, these were the guys that didn't lose their weirdness and, let's say, the Shokkin factor. And of course, everything was pictured and took on videos and uploaded on the internet. That's where the younger digital millennials could see. And that's when the problem that we had of younger people not joining maybe the organization for some reasons, they started to gain interest because they understood that there is becoming a community. And so to say, that was the group of people going together, seeing everything online and actually coming to the organization. As an organization, as youngsters ourselves, we want people and youngsters to stay in Estonia, to work here, to learn, and to actually be happy and be an active part of the society. And in many cases, with Russian-speaking youngsters, they want to move away and to work and study somewhere else. So how can we do that? We decided to actually take them abroad. If they want to go abroad, let's take them abroad under Erasmus Plus or Youth in Action and give them a chance to see the cities and the countries that they like, to see the best parts and maybe some gloomy parts as well, and give them a chance to represent Estonia in front of other people and other youngsters from Europe. And that's when we started to hear these kind of comments. I never thought and I never understood how cozy and how nice my city is or my neighborhood is, because they come back and they have the sense of home. They also said, oh, I loved to represent Estonia in front of other people. And while preparing it, I learned so much more than in lessons. And when we have groups of people in Tallinn, we give the chance to youngsters to show them around. And that's when we understand and we see how proud they are of showing the beautiful city that they live in. And that's when they make a step closer to the Estonian culture. Not by an integrational tour or trip, but actually by doing it and understanding it themselves. And that's how we got on our track, working with the digital millennials. So we decided to challenge them, to dare them, to shock them by all means. We wanted to entertain sometimes, but also be entertained. And as we think, we can be great youth workers, great teachers, if we really would change some things, some approaches, instead of just lectures and just some visits. Give more power to them and expect that it will return to you as well. Most importantly, we do projects not for or instead of the youngsters, but together with the digital millennials from Lasnamäe. Think for 1 second. Are you guys communicating with these digital millennials from Lasnamäe? Are you working with them in some sense? And how can we make this work more effective? By what kind of changes in our attitudes, in our methods, and in our approaches? And as I was talking to you, Karina was facilitating my talk and working in a school as a teacher. Yeah, of course, I like to conclude things. So let's make a small conclusion. We have the millennials who are quite smart and educated. Bear that in mind. They're great with technology. Sometimes they get bored with non-conventional things, the ones that are always in school. Sometimes they need a magic kick to actually start working and start doing it. They like challenges, so give them challenges. They like trendy stuff, so understand what are the fashion, what is the trend, and give it to them. Build up on their interests, go digital, make yourselves visible. Also challenge, entertain, and shock. Most importantly, do something not instead or for, but together with. Thank you very much.